Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our new Blacklist preview and theory discussion. This is about Season 8, Episode 16, entitled Nicholas Obenrader. Wait, how do you guys come up with, the weirdest names for these people?
Hey, it's memorable.
Is it? I guess it is
Yes.
memorable. It's like, is this a sequel to Ogden Greeley when it comes to, the names that make you sound like your mouth has, peanut butter in it?
But we remember them.
We
so
do
it's
remember
good.
it. We're going to talk a little bit about what could be coming in this episode. The promo is kind of vague. We have a new recruit for Reddington, I guess.
Yep. We also have a new studio, which I'm sure you guys have noticed. Maybe.
I'm just showing it off here.
We've moved. So we're still setting up. The lights are still, we're still trying to figure everything out.
Yeah.
Harley Cat is acting like a gong show, so if you hear cupboards banging and screaming, that is what is happening over here. She is figuring things out.
Yes.
And that is what is going on.
And so are we.
So are we.
This will probably evolve a little bit over time.
It absolutely will.
All right. Well, for now, though, if you guys enjoy this discussion, hit that subscribe button because I feel like you probably know by now, but we're here for you to talk all things Blacklist, theories, tinfoil hats.
Yep, even though we have moved, the channel has not. So
hey,
subscribe and see.
There you go. Okay, so at the center of this episode, there is this whole suggestion of, okay, Reddington's got someone new. He's bringing on board the team. And we can sort of extrapolate here because in the synopsis it says he's taking steps to infiltrate Townsend's criminal organization. So I guess theoretically here, he can't send Dembe into Townsend's organization because he knows who Dembe is. He's got to get some new blood.
Yeah, and we already know what Liz had to do to get into his organization to some degree, to be working with him at all. She had to kill his sister. And she had to send in the Cyranoid. She couldn't even go in herself at that point because Neville is dangerous. We've seen it. He was happy and fine to go to a police station and do what he did there just to get to Reddington. So for Reddington to send somebody in, it has to be somebody who's very easily able to sort of maneuver in and out of different places, hard situations, because they're going to be tested as well.
And so I think with that, the question, of course, becomes, okay, who is this new recruit going to be? You see some, dude in the back of a chair or something at the very start of the promo. Maybe it's that guy, maybe Nicholas Obenrader, which I think his name has to be said like that. Maybe that's our Nicholas. There's also a woman who's in a lot of the photos for this episode. We don't know anything about her. I guess it would be, if this isn't going to be the case, but wouldn't it be hilarious if here is Reddington's new recruit, it's Paula who is going in.
I was kind of hoping that. I mean, we saw that she basically got hired in the last episode, but it would have been fun to see something like that. He would never put her in that kind of position. I think it's one thing to ask her to get a little bit of information. It's another thing to send her in to be working with Neville.
Do you think Neville would like her pumpkin pie cheesecake bites or whatever those were?
Even though it's canned pumpkin?
Even though it's canned Listen, Neville, you don't seem to have a lot of people who are actually, feeding your soul. You're just, beating people up. It's like boxing practice. You need some joy.
And in some ways, Paula would probably actually do well in there. She just comes across as very genuine. She is very genuine, and I think it actually would work out okay, but Reddington would never put her in that kind of jeopardy.
Here's where I'm a little bit confused about a couple of things with this episode, because number one, if you're Neville at this point, you're a little bit more out in the open than you've been for the past, several decades. I don't know why you would be looking for new applicants at this point. However, maybe you can say you do need new applicants because your people sucked last week when it comes to letting Liz go in there and put the bag on your head.
Yeah, I still maintain that was not believable to me. I mean, but maybe that is the case. Maybe he killed too many of his own people that he doesn't have enough protection now and he's got to bring in more people.
I guess it could be something. I just want to know, what does the Neville Townsend job fair look like? It's like, how many people have you killed? Is there any other people close to me I need you to kill in order to ensure that I can trust you?
Get rid of the rest of my siblings.
Oh, geez. This guy is something else. So like, there's obviously a lot going on here. I'm curious about the line that Reddington says in the promo of, "This is the last job you'll have to take."
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of wondering, like, yeah, it's a new recruit, but maybe it's just he's bringing him in on this particular job, but maybe he's worked with him on other jobs, is what I'm assuming. So to kind of say, listen, this is the last job you have to take because I'm going to rain money down on you like this. It's going to be amazing, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's what I think he means with that, too. If you do, because Reddington's smart enough to know, ain't nobody gonna be wanting to go in the Neville Townsend's compound unless you were like backing up the dump truck full of money all over their head.
Yeah, I don't think you could pay me enough.
Okay, let's talk about the task force here for a moment, because when I first saw the synopsis for this episode where it says Liz and the task force track new leads in their N13 investigation, I was thinking, oh, maybe this means that they're working together, but I think it's pretty clear based on this past episode that is not the case.
No, it's probably going to be a lot like the last episode in that way, where the task force is working on the same thing that Liz is also working on. And we know that Wrestler is getting information and he's sort of sharing it back and forth. So they're kind of working together, but not really.
Here's the real question for me. How long is it going to take for either Wrestler to get fired or Wrestler to just like straight up quit and go rogue? Because this man, he is clearly, I don't know if it is romantically compromised. I don't know if it is he fully believes Liz over everyone else. But like this, we're on some sort of collision course here. I don't think he can sort of ride the fence forever.
No, they need to stop with Wrestler riding the fence. Clearly, Cooper knows that he can't trust Wrestler. He showed that in the last episode, that he decided to still do what he needed to do. Wrestler, I'm starting to have a hard time feeling that Wrestler needs to be benched. Like, he should have long been benched.
Yeah.
So, at this point, I'm wondering if maybe he will not necessarily go rogue, but that he will get benched, and then he will start to help Liz.
This is what I'm really concerned about now. This episode, Nicholas Obenrader. This is the first episode.
I'm going to drink some coffee.
It's keeping everybody on their toes. This is the first named Blacklister episode we've had in a while, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I'm assuming this dude's gonna have a number, and I'm a little bit just concerned that we still have a little ways to go this season. Is this just gonna be one of those slow and plotting episodes where we don't get a lot of information? Because we know that whatever needed to be activated, I guess the assets have now been mobilized, but we don't know what those assets are. We don't even know for sure who the man or the friend from the East or whatever you want to call him. We don't even know who he actually works for still.
No, and I mean, I don't know. That whole cipher thing, the longer I thought about it, I mean, I wasn't that crazy about the idea of it, especially when I was like, oh, this is how you decipher it. I'm just like, is there no other modern way of dealing with it that they have to go back and use this cipher from decades ago?
Yeah, I don't know, but I think that's one of the many things they need to explain. And we don't know, obviously, what's going on weeks down the road here, but here's what I would love. I would love an episode that's sort of an origin story for Reddington and the friend from the East relationship, where you sort of see how these crazy kids first got together. What was their relationship like?
It'll be a while for that, because that would then just reveal whether or not Reddington is N13 or if he moved into this sort of undercover as already an agent for America or somewhere else. I mean, who knows?
This is me trying to plant the seed and being like, Blacklist writers, you want to give us that, right?
They don't.
Right? Okay.
Not yet.
I do think we will learn for sure this season whether or not Reddington is actually in 13, or at the very least.
Oh, that's bold.
That's my prediction. I think we're gonna know. I'm sticking my neck out there. I think we're gonna know about N13 this season. I don't think we will know who Reddington is this season, but you can't leave us hanging with both of these for next season.
Yes, they can. They can, and they will. I do not.
Okay.
I may take an L, and I hope that I do. Let's hope I take an L. I think they are going to bring this into next season. And, I mean, in some ways, it's. I would like to have answers, but at the same time, I know the show has dragged out for 8 seasons, the relationship between Reddington and Liz. So It feels a lot like watching NCIS and thinking that they're actually going to show us if people are going to be having a relationship or not. And then it goes on for 8 seasons, and then you're like, okay, this is kind of how the show is.
Yeah.
They'll give us a little bit, but they won't give us everything. And they know they're coming back for season 9. Also, this is a very juicy mystery.
That is true.
So if they want to take some time and take me on a slow ride through this, I'm okay with this, because I would like them to wrap up the other mystery, but if they're not going to and they're going to leave it, I'm okay with this new juicy mystery taking a little time to unravel.
I'm all right with it too, as long as you just give us a little bit every episode. Like, don't do what you did like before we got to all the stuff with like Anne and an episode or 2 before that, where it felt like we were just like spinning our wheels for an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get from you guys. What do you think is going to happen here? Will we learn about N13 this season? What do you make of Nicholas Obenrader at the moment? Be sure to share in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy this, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well. Support us by checking those links to the store alongside our Patreon, and we'll see you here next time.